Just forget James. We don't care.
I don't have a head, it's okay.
You don't have a head?
No, I have a flat head.
That is weird that you don't have a head since I'm looking at it right now, but
It's not
okay.
real. My hair doesn't look good. Your hair looks all nice and mine looks like a crazy person.
Hey guys, welcome. Oh, I got hair in my mouth. Hey guys, welcome back to Vlogtober Day number 17. We're doing things a little bit differently today. I just needed a break from filming, editing, uploading, so you're getting a Q&A today. But that's okay, you guys sent in so many questions that it's gonna be a good video. A lot of you guys ask similar questions, so I'm gonna try to just group them all together. And if you ask a sticker shop related question, I've probably already answered it. Is the thing over here or here? I will link all of my Q&As up here.
It's gonna be over here.
Okay.
Believe.
Wherever, it's gonna be somewhere. I will link that because I've probably already answered it, and I feel like I tend to answer the same questions about sticker shop stuff over and over again, so I was just like, we're gonna switch it up this time. So if I don't answer your question, it's probably in one of these Q&As. Do you like hot coffee or iced coffee best? James hates coffee.
I like neither coffee. I like the smell of coffee best, so I guess hot coffee.
That's hard to say because I like them both. I'm definitely more of a I feel like I'm more of a cold drink kind of person throughout the entire year, but I do like a good cup of hot coffee, and I grew up on hot coffee, so there's that. But I also like it, I don't know, I can't choose. What would your order at a coffee shop be? So I don't really go to a lot of coffee shops. I go to Starbucks every now and then. And before I started my new lifestyle, I would always get a iced matcha green tea latte
Delicious.
Or an iced chai tea. I really didn't get coffee drinks from Starbucks, which is funny because I do like coffee, but I just never really got it at Starbucks. At
Tea's
Starbucks,
a better drink anyway.
well,
so.
And I feel like those are things I'm not making for myself. I can make coffee myself. I mean, I can make those other things myself, but I just feel like I don't, so...
Well, that's because you're stuck with me who insists on making matcha super traditional, and it takes forever that way.
Yeah. So anyway, I guess I would have to say an iced matcha green tea was my go-to before starting my new lifestyle.
I like to get, when we go to Starbucks, get a hot matcha. Although I really wish that I wouldn't have to tell them not to put the foam on it and stuff, because I really prefer literally just the matcha powder and water, but I always forget, and then they make it as a latte, so it has milk, and then they put the foam on it, and I'm just like, wow, yeah. This is ridiculous. Is
Dixie the only dog you guys have had, and what's your favorite dog breed? So
it's the only dog we've had together.
It's the only dog we've had together. I grew up around dogs. My parents raised rat terriers, so we had a bunch of dogs, but I also lived on a farm, so they could just run around and have a good life. And so I have had a ton of dogs in my life. I'm very much a dog person. So Dixie's not the only dog I've had, but she's the only dog I've had with James. We got her a month after we got married.
Growing up, we had 2 dogs. I don't remember what the breed of the first dog was, but it was bigger than it was the size of Lilo, maybe a little smaller. Okay.
Oh, for reference here, Lilo is my sister's dog that she just got earlier this year. She's a lab mixed with something. So
it was a little smaller than that, but about that size, and definitely that energy. And we named him Robotnik after Dr. Robotnik. Actually, we named him Robot technically, I guess, but it was after Dr. Robotnik from Sonic. And then my sister had a beagle after that, and her name was Abby. And she was a pretty cool dog. Yeah.
So, favorite breed of dog? I've had so many dogs, you guys. I've had rat terriers. Well, no, I've had rat terriers. I've had a pug. I've had a bird dog, which we didn't really know exactly what he was, but oh my gosh, I loved that dog so much. I think when I was little, my grandparents and my mom lived there too. So my family had a Pomeranian, I think. I've had, so Dixie's a Chihuahua, and before her I had another Chihuahua. So I probably say Chihuahua, but I don't know. And there's other breeds that I've never had that I want to. Like, I've never had a beagle. So I think this is another question people have been asking about, like, a lot. They want to know when we're going to get another dog for Dixie to play with.
I don't know when, but it's 99% probably going to be a beagle. Yeah,
so that's what I was going to say. I really want to get a beagle. I've been obsessed with like looking for beagle puppies in the area. I think beagles are pretty cool dogs. I want to get a lemon beagle because I just think they're so, I mean, I don't know about that, but I think beagles are pretty cool. I want to get like all the dogs. You guys know if I could, I would have like hundreds of dogs, but.
If we had the space, and like by the space, I mean like a big house with open rooms and a really big yard, I would like to get a Saint Bernard just because I think it's funny how like big and bulky they are, you know, and like, but we like just literally don't have the space for that dog in this house.
If I were to get a big dog, I think I would want to get a golden retriever. Like, I've heard so many good things about them and they just seem like such good dogs. But here's the thing, guys, and here is going to answer this question about when we are getting another dog. There's a couple different things we're waiting on. One, we have a really big vacation scheduled next year. It was actually scheduled for 2020, but we all know how that ended up. So it got rescheduled for 2022, and fingers crossed we get to go on it because we've literally had it planned for how long?
2018.
Since 2018.
So it's been like over 3 years now.
Yeah, so hopefully we get to do that, and it is a pretty big vacation where we're going to be gone for longer than I feel like we normally would, and
it'll end up being like 2 weeks probably.
Yeah, so we don't really want to get another dog and then have to like feel like we're dumping 2 dogs off on people. And right now, whenever we go out of town, we leave Dixie with James's sister, and you know, she seems to really love Dixie and her kids love Dixie, but I just would feel bad being like, hey, can you watch 2 dogs, you know?
Especially like if the other dog isn't really trained yet.
Yeah.
And like,
so we're kind of waiting on that. The other thing that I want to make sure that we find the right dog, because Dixie's actually really, really scared of other dogs like that are bigger than her. So we want to make sure, one, that is a puppy, because we want to make sure it's small so that way she doesn't freak out, because even though I want another dog, Dixie's my #1 priority. I don't want to make her feel uncomfortable in her environment. I don't want her to be upset or be miserable. And I think she would be fine with another dog if it was small and she kind of got used to it as it would grow up. But like, part of the problem is we tried to introduce her to my sister's dog, and her dog is a puppy, but it's massive. Like, it's a pretty big dog compared to Dixie. And so Dixie's absolutely terrified. Like, she will like foam at the mouth and like, you know.
Yeah, she doesn't really foam at the mouth.
Not anymore, but at the beginning. And so I don't want to stress her out. So it's got to be the right time, the right dog, but it is happening, wouldn't you say?
I think eventually we will end up with another dog.
Yeah.
When is just really the question.
But it's just, there's a couple different things holding me back right now. Otherwise, you guys know, I would be like, James would go to work and he would just come home and there would be a puppy. I'd be like, oh, look, I found this puppy.
No, they wouldn't, because that means you'd have to drive to go get it.
I would do it. I would do it for a puppy.
Oh, you would?
I would do it. I found a couple cute ones that I'm just like, oh my gosh, like, yeah. So anyway, that hopefully that kind of answers that question. It's not that we don't want another dog or that we're not planning on getting another dog. It's just timing right now. Like, the rest of the year we kind of have a couple trips we're going on, and it's a busy time, and I want to make sure that I can give time to a puppy, also still give Dixie her time, and you know, it's all gonna work out when it's right, but right now it's just not the right time, unfortunately. Ideal date night or favorite activity?
I don't know what I'd say our ideal date night is, but our favorite activity is sitting on the couch watching movies all night.
Yeah, we are kind of boring, and our favorite thing is just coming home, sitting on the couch, watching TVs. Watching TVs,
yes, we have multiple TVs. That's how much we love watching things. Watching
TV shows and movies and just chilling and being with each other. We like doing all kinds of stuff.
I don't know if I would even say that's like our all-time favorite, because like I think our like favorite thing is like going and seeing places together, you know?
Yeah.
But it's not realistic to do that every night, you know?
Yeah. So
I guess it's kind of a weird question. Like, I guess the thing that we do the most together that we enjoy is watching TV and movies. But I don't know if I'd say that's like our favorite.
But it's not even like
you know what I mean?
It's not even like a date night. This is gonna sound bad. We don't really go on like
every night's a date night.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, we just like hanging out.
Some nights you make dinner, some nights I make dinner.
So yeah, that's a hard one because
our favorite activity is probably going to play putt-putt.
True, and I beat him I think
of all the things we do together, I think that's like the thing we most like look forward to doing when we go places.
Yeah. Will you ever expand your business? I feel like I kind of already done that. When you say,
I mean, yeah, but would you, I think the question is
maybe
more, would you expand it more? Because you've started with the sticker shop, and then you did the courses, and then you started doing the like notepads, like stationery and stuff.
So I guess beyond that, maybe that's, I don't know, that's like
You've talked about adding like,
I've talked about a lot of
like
different
planner
things.
inserts and covers, and even at one point you're looking at making your own planner. So I think you have a lot of interest, but it's fitting them in a time that makes sense.
And so I feel like I'm just kind of gradually like expanding. Like this year I introduced like washi tape and notebooks and pins, and that's been really exciting, and I've really loved that. So I wouldn't say that I wouldn't expand beyond that, but it's gonna have to all come back down to timing and everything. But also I definitely would if like James were to like stop working and come help me with my business, you know, if like that ever became a thing, because then there's more people to kind of help. But right now it's just me, and I'm also trying to balance a YouTube channel and, you know, just having a life outside of sticker shop stuff. So it's gotta be small things at a time that I can keep up with, you know. What is a good tip to set a small business owner / work from home routine?
I think the biggest thing is to set an alarm in the morning and have like, I have to start work at this time, like if you were going to an office job.
That's a good one.
Because it's easy when you're working from home to sleep in, and then, you know, oh, I need to make breakfast, and then, oh, I need to run this errand, and I think it'd be easy to kind of get out of actually starting your work ever, and then you'd feel like, oh, I didn't accomplish anything today, or there's not enough time left in the day to do it now. And so like, as basic and cliche as it sounds, like having like a set start time, like this is when I start work every day.
Yeah, and especially like if you are starting out like running your own business and you've come from having a job and like outside of your house and then working for yourself, it can be really easy to like let yourself down and be like, well, I don't have to do that right now or whatever, and then you kind of just get lost. Whereas like if you had a job outside of your house, you know that somebody's depending on you to be there at a certain time and to do these tasks or whatever. So make sure that you are holding yourself accountable and you're giving yourself 100% of yourself. Like if you would give somebody else 100% of your effort and whatever I'm trying to say there, make sure you're giving that to yourself too, because you're the only one that's going to care about your business. Like in terms of like, nobody else is gonna care if you get up and do stuff. They might care about like the products you're selling or services you're selling or whatever, but they're not gonna care about your business as much as you are.
You also have to know, like, are you more productive in the morning or in the afternoon? Like Rachel's definitely more productive in the morning. And so like it's super important for her to get up and do like any of the major things she has to do that day in the morning.
Yeah.
Some people, and like I would say most people, it's more common to be more productive earlier in the day, but there are people who tend to be more productive or feel more productive or more creative or whatever in the afternoon, kind of after they've been going for a little bit. I know there's a lot of data that suggests the first like about an hour after you wake up to about 3 hours after you wake up is like the most productive like time period in your day. But that's obviously not the case for everyone. If you're one of those people who feels more productive or creative in the afternoon, then you should probably work your schedule when you're starting out to do most of your creative, productive stuff in the afternoon.
If you were to open another Etsy shop or start another small business, what would it be?
Bananas.
Bananas?
I don't know, it was just the first thing I thought of.
So, funny story is this entire year, I have definitely like questioned what I'm doing. It's no secret if you watch my vlogs, I've had kind of a weird year. I wouldn't say it's been like the worst year ever or bad necessarily. It's just been one of those like...
It's been a year of discovery for you.
Yeah, it's just been one of those years where I'm just a little off. So I've actually looked into other things I could do because I was just like, I don't want to do stickers anymore. I don't want to do this anymore. Which it wasn't even that I didn't want to do it anymore. It was just that I was kind of going through a little bit of life stuff, and it made it seem like I wasn't passionate about what I was doing, when in reality it was just that my heart and mind were elsewhere. So I've looked into like making bath bombs and like doing like the soap and that kind of stuff. And then I also thought about like opening a clothing store. And so, why are you smiling at me?
I'm just
oh, okay.
listening.
I was like, what? So I've definitely looked into all this candle making thing. So I don't know, because there's a lot of different things that I'm like, that would be fun. That would be fun. So honestly, I can't answer this because I really don't know, because I feel like I want to do all the things, but I'm only one person, so I can't really do all the things. But that's just, I want to do all the things, you know? What is your least favorite chore? Scrubbing the bathtub. I hate it. I make James do it.
It's true.
What's your least favorite chore?
I feel like we keep the house pretty clean, so it's not like any of them are too difficult, so.
Yeah, but what's your like least favorite? Probably folding laundry.
Oh, folding laundry, probably.
I also hate, we don't really fold our laundry. We're not real adults. What is your favorite paleo meal? Right now, I feel like this will change all the time because I'm such a food person, but right now, things I'm loving, I really love the fettuccine that I've shown you guys in the vlog.
It is pretty good. It almost tastes exactly like, actually I almost like it better than fettuccine because it's not as like creamy, overpowering.
Yeah, and then I really like the spaghetti, because growing up, spaghetti was like one of my favorite meals. So the fact that I can still have it and it's 100% paleo makes me so very happy.
I think my favorite paleo meal that you're eating right now is probably the pizza.
Yeah, the pizza's pretty good too.
But that's kind of not fair because pizza's my favorite.
I wouldn't say it was 100% paleo, because we don't have, like the pepperoni that we had some stuff in it that wasn't 100% paleo, and the vegan cheese had a little bit of like, so it wasn't 100% paleo.
The vegan cheese isn't paleo? Why?
Because I think it has some type of, like a little bit of sugar or something in it. No. How old are you? How old are you, James?
32.
All right, I'm gonna shock everyone with this. Make sure you're sitting down.
I had to think about that for a second.
I'm also 32. I know, it's shocking.
I thought you were gonna say 42.
42. No, I'm 32, but I feel like that shocks people all the time. They have no idea. They're like, oh my gosh, I thought you were in your early 20s, which at least now we've moved on into the 20s, because can I tell you, being like, you know, 25, 26, and still getting asked which middle school you go to is just, it's so frustrating.
Yeah, but you didn't look like you were in middle school, so those people were just crazy.
But I still got that all the time. I got like middle school or high school. And it's, I know people, the funny thing is, people who don't have to put up with this, they're always like, you'll appreciate it one day. When you're in your 30s and people think you're in your 20s, you'll appreciate it. I still do not appreciate it. There's a level.
Yeah, but those people also feel like they need to wear like tons and tons of makeup.
Well, so there's like just, and if you're one of those people, I'm not trying to offend anyone here, but it's just, there's a level of disrespect that comes with people thinking that you're a lot younger than you are. Like, people don't think that you know what you're talking about. They don't take you seriously. And there's just like that kind of...
So it's like working with engineers. Everyone thinks they're the only one who's right.
Probably. But there's just like a level of disrespect that comes along with it. And it is very, very frustrating. Just being like, well, you look like you're in high school, so you probably don't know anything. You know what I mean? And so I've had a lot of those experiences. And I know not everyone who thinks I look younger thinks that. But just in general, a lot of people do. But yeah, I am 32. That was like a long answer for that question, but I just felt the need to like express how frustrating it is looking so young. Do you want kids someday? Somebody else asked this question too. So we're gonna talk about it. Although I think we've answered it before.
Is there really anything to talk about? It's a pretty simple answer.
It's no. So no, we don't want kids, and if we did want kids, we would have wanted to have them in our 20s. So like now I feel like we're past the time that we would really want to have kids anyway, right? Wouldn't you say? Like, I mean, not that we couldn't have kids in our 30s, but I just mean, I feel like we both would have wanted to have them
I would have wanted to have them younger, so that when they were like, you know, not like older, but like, you know, 8, 9, 10 through like high school, we were still like, you know, not hip, because I don't think I was ever hip, but like, you know, able to go and like do stuff with them and like have, you know, kind of actually go and like, you know, do like whatever they're into and hang out with them. And
yeah, so yeah, we don't want kids. I've never ever wanted kids. I've never thought like, oh man, I want to be a mom. In fact, it's really, really funny because this is how like not into babies I am, I guess. So James's brother and his wife just had a baby back in July, and we've never held the baby. And we're just kind of like,
yeah, but we don't hold any babies.
Well, but I mean, that's the point though. It's like, you know, most people get so excited whenever somebody close to them has a baby and they're like, I've got to get all the baby cuddles and I've got to hold this baby. And like, we're both just like, no. So we're like, yeah, let us know.
When you're 3 and can
yeah,
talk.
let us know when he's 3 and cool to hang out with.
Excited for my brother. It's
yeah.
just...
we're happy for him, but like, we're just like, don't ask us to hold your baby or babysit, you know?
Yeah.
I am definitely like, people are always like, baby fever, doesn't this make you want to have a baby? And I'm like, no, but show me a picture of a cute dog and it makes me want to get a puppy. Just saying. But to answer the question, no, we don't want kids. Not planning on having any kids unless we get another one of these kids. Okay, I felt like this was a really good question. Would you work a 9-to-5 job? I've actually worked a lot of
9 to 5.
Okay.
No one works 9 to 5
Thank
anymore.
you, Dolly Parton. No, so I actually had several jobs before I started my own business. So I'm not like against working a 9-to-5 job. If I had to, absolutely. Like if we needed me to go to work, obviously, like I would go get a 9-to-5 or an 8-to-5 or whatever schedule, right? Have nothing against that. But if I had my choice, obviously I want to continue to run my business because it is what I'm passionate about and excited about. And if there was something that wasn't like running my own business that I was like super passionate about, then obviously. But if I had to get one just to survive, then I would do that too. I'm not like above doing that. So like, I have nothing against 9-to-5. I just personally have found what I love doing. And
yeah, I think it's more that what you want to do. There's not really like a 9-to-5 office job you can go to and do that, you know?
Yeah. So I'm not against it, but I'm also not really looking to go back to that. What's one place you've always wanted to visit? And I know that somebody else asked a question like, if money were no object, where would you want to travel?
The moon.
Okay, so James wants to go to the moon. So I'm gonna add to it if money wasn't an object and there were no restrictions, because right now things are a little crazy in life. I would really want to go see like all the different places that Jesus like was at, because I think that'd be really cool. Also, I think it'd be cool to see where like Paul the Apostle like went around. Like I think that would be so cool. Besides that though, I would love to visit every Disney park. Everyone. Like I've been to Disneyland and Disney World, but I think it'd be cool to like visit all the other ones. So those are probably my answers of like places that I'd really want to go.
I'm still going with the moon.
You're still going with the moon, all right.
Maybe Japan.
What video game did you stay up playing until midnight the other day?
It's a new one, it just came out, it's called Back for Blood.
And then they wanted to know if I like playing video games also, if I'm a gamer also, and I'm not.
I think you like playing some video games.
Some video games.
In general, no.
But like, I'll be like playing them for 5 minutes and be like, okay, I need to go do something else with my time. So if I do play stuff, I'll play like Sims every now and then. I used to be big into Sims. Like I remember being in 6th grade. It was like when the first Sims came out. And I got grounded because my grades slipped because all I did was play Sims. So I used to be really big into playing it, but now I'm like so excited about my business that I'm just like, I've got to do all this stuff. And I really try to take weekends off, but when we do, we're watching TV or we're hanging out with friends. And so I don't really make time to game. It's just not a passion of mine like it is for James. He's like playing video games all the time. Okay, do you have a sticker collection? Yes, I do. Is it organized? No, it is not. And then the next question is, can you show us how you organize your stickers?
Yes,
and
throw them in a drawer.
Yeah, my personal sticker collection is not organized, but I did show how I organized my sticker stock in a couple videos ago, so. But my personal one's not organized at all. Do you shop from other shops? Yes. Not a lot, but I have in the past. Like, I do like supporting other shops, but I also don't.
I think it kind of comes and goes depending on how much you're using your planner.
Yeah, that too. And this year's not been great with the planner. Like, you guys know I'm just now getting back into it. But I also, because I make stickers, I'm like, well, I can just make stuff for myself and save money. So I do have that kind of mindset of like, oh no, I need to save money. So I do support other sticker shops, but not all the time. And it really depends on how into my planner I am. What's your favorite season?
Winter.
We can't be married anymore. My favorite is actually fall, but it's also my least, well, not my least favorite, but I struggle a lot with just the change from summer to fall in terms of like my anxiety and just feeling really tired and kind of dragging. But I love fall fashion. I love the colors. I love the fall makeup looks. I love all of that, but I just have a hard time with it getting darker earlier. My least favorite is winter. I hate winter. Hate it. If you and James won the lottery, what's the first thing you guys would do? So the first thing...
High five.
The first thing that I would want to do is move to Tennessee, because that's where my family is and that's where I want to be. I don't like North Carolina, which I think was another question on how do you like living in North Carolina. I hate living in North Carolina. Like, I'm just being real here. I hate it. I've lived in North Carolina. So we first moved here in 2004, and then I was here from 2004 to 2010, and my family and I moved to Tennessee, and then we moved to Connecticut, and then we moved back to Missouri, and then we moved back to North Carolina. We've been all over the place. But so I moved back here at the very end of 2013. Like, it was like
December, like the
end of December. It was like the end of December, so basically 2014, and have been here ever since. And I just, North Carolina is not my favorite. Like, out of the 4 states I've lived in, it's not my least favorite, I guess, in terms, like, Connecticut was my least favorite, just because
Connecticut,
it's very different up there. And I'm not trying to like slam anyone if you live there, if you love it, but it is very different going from like a place like North Carolina or Tennessee or Missouri to Connecticut. It's a very, very different, like, it's almost like a culture shock a little bit. Like, so I had some good times in Connecticut. I only lived there for a year, but like, it'd probably be my least favorite, although it's very beautiful this time of year. But North Carolina, I hate like everything about North Carolina. So no, I don't like living in North Carolina.
If we won the lottery, the first thing we would do would not be move. We would move, but not very first.
What would the first thing be then? Because I'm like, pack it up, let's go.
Well, the first thing we would do is figure out if we were gonna take the lump sum or not, and then we would get all of our finances sorted out.
Okay, I think they meant beyond that. When we figured all that out.
No, I think some people literally, the first thing they do is like go buy a new car.
Oh, well, the first thing I would want to do is move. That, you know. But apparently we can't do that.
No, we would be a little smarter about it. We would move, but just not like that day, you know.
Okay.
We gotta get money, get a house lined up. I mean, you know, there's a lot of stuff you still gotta do.
All right. What made you decide to change your diet to the Whole30 approach? So I'm technically not doing the Whole30. I've done like 6 rounds of the Whole30, but I'm not currently doing the Whole30, so I don't know.
I think that's why they said approach, not like...
So originally, I did my first round of Whole30 in 2015, and I had like seen somebody talk about it, and I was just like, you know, I want to try this. I want to challenge myself. And I did it, and I lost 10 pounds. I felt so great. Like it was awesome. And at the time, I hadn't gone on my anxiety medication again, so I didn't really weigh that much to begin with. I mean, I had gained some weight, but like not like now. So I lost like 10 pounds, was feeling really great. And then the following years when I went back on my anxiety medication, and I gained so much weight. And then when I came off of it, I was like, okay, I've got to get my weight off. So for a while it was like doing it to just lose weight, but I never really stuck with it. So like once that Whole30 was over, I was like, give me the ice cream, give me this, give me that. And so this past round, I wanted to do it because I had been, at this point, like we had kind of cleaned up our eating a little bit, but I had been traveling a lot This year was kind of crazy with family stuff, and so I had been traveling a lot. So once we came home, once that was over and I was like, okay, I'm good, I know I can commit to stuff now, we did another round of Whole30. And during that time, I found a YouTuber who kind of eats like paleo, clean eating sort of thing. And I realized there were so many different options. Like once you got off the Whole30, like I could have spaghetti, I could have fettuccine, I could have all the things I love, but they were modified and healthier. And so then once I finished the round of Whole30 and I felt so much better, I had more energy, my anxiety's not as bad. There's just so many different benefits to like pulling all that out of your diet and then figuring out what's causing those issues, you know, wouldn't you say? And why are you looking at me like that?
I'm just watching you. I'm sorry, I'll look at them.
Please, because you're like creeping me out. So anyway, so then I was like, I really want to stick to paleo after this. I really want to stick so close to that I don't just like fall off track, because it's so easy for me because I'm an emotional eater, and like, you know, it's like if I want to celebrate something, I want to have ice cream. If I'm sad that day, I want to have ice cream. That's my favorite thing, is ice cream. And that's not good. And so I was like, I really want to stick to it. So watching this other person and realizing that I could have normal, I don't want to say normal food, but I could have stuff like pasta and still feel good was like, I don't know, super motivating to keep going. And I feel so much better. Like before we started this last round of Whole30, everything made me sick. Like we would eat dinner and I just think, man, I feel awful. Like I feel sick. And so I was just like, I don't want to live like that. And so that's kind of why I just changed my lifestyle about how I eat. And so now I'm eating and I feel good, and I'm still eating stuff that I like. And every now and then I let myself have like an ice cream or whatever, because I still love those things, but it can't be all the time every day. And you know, it's still got to be a lifestyle. It's still got to be something that I can stick with. And I think every other time I just looked at it as like a diet or a challenge for 30 days or whatever. And this time I was like, no, I'm going to make it a lifestyle. I'm going to figure out how to live this way, because I feel so much better when I'm eating this way. But really, I just wanted to feel better about everything. So that's kind of why we did that, or why I did that. James is still eating Oreos. And
I mean, I feel like in general, I've always kind of had a pretty good diet. You know, it kind of fluctuates depending on what you're eating, you know. But I've been able to kind of keep my body weight what it is and my metabolism what it is, and so I have a little bit more flexibility in how rigid of a diet, as it were, I need to follow. Which I wouldn't really say that I follow a diet at all.
Dixie, you're running the video.
But I think it depends on when you like see me too. If like you saw me during the week, I tend to eat a lot better than if you see me on the weekend, when I don't.
What is your favorite coffee mug to drink from? Well, I have a coffee mug problem. Like we're running out of room and I need to stop buying them. But I honestly don't know, because I have so many and I love them all, that I don't know that I could pick one that I'm like, man, this is my favorite one. Can you think of one that I'm just like...
That's your favorite one?
Yeah.
No.
Like, I don't know. I have no idea. Don't make me choose, because there's too many. I love them all. And there's that. Okay, what did you do before you opened a sticker shop? I was a nanny right before we got married and I moved here, and then I quit that job obviously because I lived in Raleigh at the time, and we now live in like the Greensboro area. If you know North Carolina, you kind of have an idea of that. So I had to move here, and so that's why I stopped doing my nanny job. Before that, I worked at a school in the before and after care program. I actually was like the manager, I guess is what you could call it, because if I say what the actual job title is, it won't mean anything to you unless you live in that area. But so I was doing that when I lived in Tennessee. When I lived in Connecticut, I was also doing I actually had 3 jobs when I lived in Connecticut, and I would work 18-hour days. So I would get up and I would nanny for this family, and then I would go straight from there to the after school care program and work there. And then I would leave straight from there and I would go to the movie theater where I was an assistant manager. So, and then I'd work until like 1 in the morning. It was a very crazy schedule. I definitely don't really miss those days. So yeah, I also worked at Red Robin for a little bit when I first moved to Connecticut. So I've done several different things, but my background was really in childcare. Like that's what I would say if I had like a career or something, it would have been in that, because that was kind of the path I was on. I'm glad that I don't do that anymore. I love kids, but it is a very stressful job, and I don't want to have to do it. So that's what I did before starting a sticker shop. I liked this question because so it's kind of a two-parter, but will you plan to put up pictures of your family on your walls? You guys know, if you watch us, there's like nothing on our walls. We're just not really into that. We had a couple things hanging on our walls, and then we painted our walls and never put them back up. There's a couple things hanging up in my room and your room, but nothing like out in the living room. And then the other areas of the house we also want to paint, so I'm just like, why bother putting stuff up right now?
But also,
I don't really
like stuff hanging on the walls. Like, yeah. I don't mind a couple things, but in general...
Yeah, I mean, I'm also not a big picture person. Like
that too.
If I have pictures, it's in like scrapbooks and stuff. It's not like on the walls. But so the funny part of this question is, why don't people who film on YouTube, why do they not put anything on their walls? I've never paid attention, so I don't know. So I don't know if like just the people you're watching don't really put stuff on their walls, or if they don't really show the parts of the walls that have stuff on there. I don't know. I can't answer that because I don't think that's like a...
Well, like, I can answer it for us. Part of why we don't have anything on the walls is we painted them brighter so that your videos would be brighter.
Yeah, but I mean, but also because we're just lazy and we don't want to put pictures
Well, I mean,
up.
that too, but like... When you start hanging stuff, it like does darken the room.
So I mean, maybe that's why people who film YouTube videos don't do that. I don't know. That's not, like, I just don't do it because we just don't take the time to do these things. We're not real adults.
It's not that, I mean, I don't know. It's really, for me, it's more, I just don't really like stuff hanging on the walls that much.
I think we answered all of them. I don't know. If you have other questions you want to know the answers to, leave them in the comments below. We can definitely do another one of these, especially during Vlogtober when I'm like, oh my gosh, we have to vlog every day. So leave your comments or leave your questions in the comments below, and we can definitely do another Q&A. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Give it a thumbs up if you did. Don't forget to click subscribe. And we will see you guys tomorrow with another Vlogtober video. Bye, guys.